Greetings, horror enthusiasts. Today I want to delve deep into the classic horror film Night of the Living Dead from 1968, directed by the legendary George A. Romero. As one of the most influential horror films of all time, Night of the Living Dead set the standard for all future zombie movies and established the now iconic archetype of the slow-moving, flesh-eating undead. So without further ado, let's dive deep into this masterpiece of horror cinema. The year was 1968. Jim Morrison and the Doors were doing their thing. Bruce Lee was performing two-finger push-ups. Stanley Kubrick released the incredible 2001 A Space Odyssey. The Vietnam War was raging. Charles Manson was about to become a household name. And the King made his comeback. Amidst this whirlwind of events, filmmaker George A. Romero released his seminal horror film Night of the Living Dead, which would go on to redefine the genre and influence countless filmmakers for generations to come. My introduction to Night of the Living Dead came from the 1990 remake directed by Tom Savini. One of my brothers had rented it back when it came out on video. I remember it freaking me out quite a bit when I was a kid. The visuals and makeup effects were very compelling, and they still hold up fairly well today. Night of the Living Dead 1990 still remains one of my favorite movies of the decade. Fast forward to the later half of the 90s, it's late at night and I was looking around for something to watch on TV. The original Night of the Living Dead happened to be on. It was captivating right from the opening scenes. This film is more dark and brooding than its 1990 counterpart. It had a more visceral feel to it. The film follows a group of strangers trapped in a farmhouse during a sudden and inexplicable zombie outbreak. As they struggle to survive the night, tensions rise and personalities clash, all while the restless undead attempt to break into their refuge. This is basically all there is to the movie. The simplicity is one of the things that makes the film so effective. One key location, a small group of people, and an easily definable threat. From the opening scenes, it's clear that this film is not for the faint of heart. The eerie silence of the deserted countryside is shattered by the sudden frenzied attack of the first zombie, whose crazed eyes and disheveled appearance are as terrifying now as they were over 50 years ago. This movie was the start of the flesh-eating zombies we're all familiar with in movies now. Zombies existed in film prior, of course, but they were a bit different. So the dictionary definition of a zombie is a mute and willless body robbed of its soul and given the semblance of life by a supernatural force, usually for manual labor or some evil purpose. Zombies as they were depicted in movies like White Zombie 1932 or Plague of the Zombies 1966 were shown as being unnatural henchmen for some diabolical voodoo practitioner. At its core, Night of the Living Dead is a movie about fear. It is a film that taps into some of our most primal fears, the fear of the unknown, the fear of death, and the fear of each other. By setting the film in a remote farmhouse, Romero creates a sense of claustrophobia and isolation that is almost palpable. The characters are trapped in a small, confined space with no means of escape and no way of knowing what is happening in the outside world. This sense of confinement is enhanced by the film's use of black and white, which gives the film a stark, almost oppressive atmosphere. The zombies themselves are a strong source of fear. Unlike many modern zombie films where the zombies are fast-moving and highly aggressive, the zombies in Night of the Living Dead are slow-moving and lumbering. This creates a sense of dread and inevitability as the characters know that they will eventually be overwhelmed by the growing horde of undead. The zombies are also terrifying because of their blank expressions and unrelenting persistence. They are a force of nature and cannot be reasoned with or placated. But what truly sets Night of the Living Dead apart is its characters. Romero's decision to cast relatively unknown actors adds to the realism of the film, and the naturalistic performances elevate the story from a simple horror schlock to a genuine exploration of human nature. Everyone has their own agendas, and their conflicting personalities create a powder keg of tension that threatens to tear the group apart. The film's pacing is masterful, gradually building tension and suspense until the shocking and unforgettable climax. The film's ending is also notable for its bleak and nihilistic tone. Ben is the only one to survive the night, but is shot and burned alongside the zombie bodies. This is a gut-wrenching reminder of the horrors of humanity and the futility of resistance against the inevitable. Very Lovecraftian. The use of low-budget special effects are surprisingly effective. The zombie makeup and gore effects are minimalistic, creating a visceral and unsettling experience for the viewer. And the film's score is haunting and atmospheric, perfectly capturing the film's sense of dread and impending doom. Due to this film being in the public domain, there are several versions out there. The colorized version is pretty cool. If you've never seen it in color before, it's like watching it for the first time all over again. There was a 30th anniversary release where extra scenes were filmed and edited into the movie. I've only seen this version once, and it sucked massive shit. I'd suggest skipping it. I've seen two colorized versions. One has Johnny and Barbara's car colored red, and the zombies have this green tinge to them. The other has the car colored blue, and the zombies are more gray. The red car version looks a little softer, which causes it to have this dreamlike quality to it. The blue car version is sharper, but a little bit darker. If I had to choose between the two, I'd go with the blue car version. Overall, Night of the Living Dead is a masterful piece of horror cinema that remains just as powerful and effective today as it was when it was first released over 50 years ago, and a testament to the power of independent filmmaking. Its low budget and simple production values only serve to enhance its impact. Its influence can be seen in countless zombie films and TV shows, and its legacy as a social commentary on the human condition continues to resonate with audiences today. If you're a fan of horror or simply interested in the history of cinema, Night of the Living Dead is a must-watch. Just be prepared to sleep with the lights on. Well, thanks for watching. Join me next time where I'll be diving into the monumental classic that is Dawn of the Dead. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you all here next time on Dread Empire.